Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to interview preparation session, which is conducting by 360 DG. And in today's session, we'll just see some of the questions which they have been asked in the interviews, previous interviews, and all. So, first question for the day, guys: what are negative indices? Yes, what are indices? So you might have an idea like what are indices, from where does it starts, and right. So in the same way, we do have two types of indices, positive as well as negative. So what are negative indices? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah, as we look into this, so suppose we have been taken an example over here. So here I've been taken a list of 0 to 8, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if I wanna know what might be the list negative index of minus 3, it's obviously 6, because positive index starts from 0 to 8, whereas you come with negative index will start from 8 to 0. Okay, in positive index it will be started from 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, whereas in negative index it starts with minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. So here I have been taken minus 3, and the minus 3 value is 6 over here. The same thing, it will be printed in the output console file. You can also even go through these kind of examples to practice from your side. So as we jump into the next question, how does the remove function helps in programming? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah. As we look into this, suppose here I have been mentioned a list, this list called apple, banana, and cherry. So from this list, I want to remove banana. So this list dot remove banana. So from this, if I print this list, the output will be only apple and cherry because I have been removed banana. So this is the function, how it does, what it does with this remove function. So as we jump into the next question, what is a Python set? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah. As we look into the next question, yes, these sets are used to store multiple items in a single variable. So suppose set is one of built-in data types in Python. So used to store collection of data. So the other three are list, tuples, dictionaries with different quantities and usages and representations even. So a set is a collection which is unordered, unchangeable, and unindexed. That's what a set is. So as we jump into the next question, what are the benefits of using Python? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. As we look into this, it is easy to use. It is an interpreted language. It is a dynamically typed language. It's a free and open source. It has some supports according to their libraries and there are portable. So these are some of the things why to choose a Python. So as we jump into the next question, what is the difference between .py and .pyc files? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah. Now as we look into this, the .py file are the Python source code files, whereas the .pyc files contains bytecode of the Python file. So these PYC files are created with the code which is imported from some other sources. So the interpreter converts the source .py files to .pyc while using this, and it also helps to save some time. So as we jump into the next question, what is slicing in Python? So if anyone knows the answer, try to ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Now, as we look into this, slicing, it is used to access a part of sequence like list, tuples, and strings. So the syntax of the slicing, it should be start with the start and end step. So the step can be omitted as well. So when we write start and end, it returns all the elements of the sequence from the start, including which means the starting till the end. Each and every element will be concluded inside it. So if the start or end element is negative, it means that the element from the end, uh, the step which indicates that it has been jumped or how many elements have been skipped. That's how this step process goes with. So as we jump into the next question, what are keywords in Python? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah. As we look into this, what are keywords in Python and how many keywords are present? So yeah, keywords in Python are reserved words that have some special meaning. Yes, they do have some special meanings with keywords we use in Python. So they are generally used to define types of variables, and the keywords cannot be used for variables of or function names. So as mentioned, there are 33 keywords in Python, or and nor as so on. There are many. Some of them were this. So as we jump into the next question, what are literals in Python? and explain about different literals. So if anyone knows the answer, try to ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within. So as we look into this, a literal in this code represents a fixed value of primitive data types. So as we all know, there are five literals: a string literal, a character literal, numeric literal, boolean. So as we look into this, what is a string literal? A string literal is created by assigning some text enclosed in single or double quotes to a variable. So to create this multi-line literals, which are assigned to multi-line text enclosing in triple quotes, you can even use double or one I plus 3j, 50.45. So these were the examples for this numerical letters. So as we go with this, Boolean literals. They can be two values, either of true or false. They should be either true or false. And the literals are of four types: list, collection, loops, tuples, dictionaries, sets. So these were different literal collections. And the special literal which we have been looking into it is the Python literal, which has some use, return, and null variables inside it, which we call it as special literal. So as we jump into the next question, how to combine data frames in pandas. So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute.
Yeah. Now, as we look into this part, how to combine the data frames in pandas. So the data frames in pandas can be combined in two different ways, following ways. So concatenating them by stacking the two data frames vertically, we can concatenate them with vertically with two data frames. You can do the concatenation the same part with a horizontal plane, and combining the same thing with common columns. So yeah, this concat function is used to concatenate two data frames. Its syntax is pd.concat. If you want to concat both the data, this is the syntax which you have to use. Okay, as we jump into the next question. What is Python path? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah. Now, as we look into this question, it is an environment variable which is used when a modulator is imported. When a module is imported, we basically use this Python path. So whenever a module is imported, it is just looked up to check for the presence of important modules in various directories. So this interpreter is used to determine which module to be loaded. So as we jump into the next question, what are local variables and global variables in Python? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box. We can discuss the answer within a minute. Now, as we look into this, global variables. The variables which are declared outside a function or in a global space are called as global variables. These variables can be accessed by any function in the program. So if you come across these local variables, any variable which are declared inside a function is called as a local variable. So this variables is present in the local space or and not in the global space. So as we jump into the next question, what is the difference between Python arrays and lists? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah. Now, as we look into this, what is the difference between Python array and list? Arrays and lists in Python have the same way to storing data, but arrays can hold only a single data type, whereas list can hold a data types, hold any data types. So as we jump into the next question, what are functions in Python? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. So, so yeah, as we look into this, what are functions in Python? A function is a block of code which is executed only when it is called. So, if you want to execute a function, then obviously you have to call it. So, without calling it, you can't execute that. So, to define a Python function, we use this def keyword is used as to define a Python. So, as we jump into the next question, what is int I? So if anyone knows the answer, try to ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. Yeah, as we look into this int I, it is a method or construction in Python. So this is basically used automatically called to allocate memory when a new object or instance of a class is created. So all classes have this int key file. So as we jump into the next question, what is self in Python? So if anyone knows the answer, can ping me in the chat box and we'll discuss the answer within a minute. As you look into this, yes. this self, it is an instance or an object of a class in Python. So this is explicitly included as the first parameter. The self, it is itself included as the first parameter. However, this is not in case of Java, or whether it's optional. So it helps to differentiate between the methods and attributes of a class with local variables. So that is how this self works in Python. So that's it for the day, guys. So we'll meet in the next session. Have a great day, guys. Bye.